How to shoot group photos. Teams, clubs, and groups. Part 2. Steps. In Part 2, we're going to be talking about how, who, and other issues. Headgear. With or without helmet or the hat. Pictures left. Football players. Top picture like they're on the field. Helmets on. But you can't see their face. Bottom picture. Helmets off. You can see their face. So if you're going to have a group picture and you want to see who the heck they are, take the helmets off. On the right, baseball. Problem with baseball is similar to football in a different way. Shadow from the visor on the hat. Look at the top picture. Picture is properly exposed, but our eyes are in a deep shadow from the visor. If you're facing the sun, take the hat off. Then you'll get even lighting on the face as opposed to half the face being in a shadow and you can't see it. Or you leave if you want the hat on, flip the team around so their back is facing the sun. Your choice whether you want the hat on or off. How to set up the group. You organize it. Shorter people in front. Stagger the rows so the people in the back row are between the people in the front row. And you will see examples later. Make certain that you can see everyone's face. Up to 3 rows can be done on the ground. Seated, kneeling, and standing. The 4th row and higher requires risers, bleachers, or stairs, something to support them. Question. Where do you put the managers? Where do you put the coaches? Side, bookend, or center? How do you place an odd number of coaches? And we'll have pictures for you to look at and think about. Staggered rows. This is a really good example. If you look at all the players, let's start from the back. So you have the back row. Then you have the second to the back row, starting from number 52 and number 20 and number 24. If you look at their heads, their head is in between the row behind them. Every row down, the head is in between the row above, so you can clearly see their number. The only exception to that is number 2 in the front. He's right in the middle and his head is right on number 64's number. Probably because we have one odd person. If we had a second person, number 2 can go to the right or left, and you'd put the other person in between. But this is a good example of how each of the rows are staggered one behind the other. Large group, more than 3 rows. You see the first row is seated, second row is kneeling, third row is standing, fourth row has to go up on a riser to get above the third row. For very large groups with many rows, use the football or gym bleachers. See this picture below? It is the track and field team with 5 rows of students. The bleachers can handle many rows. The limitation is the size of your bleachers. But it is harder to line up with this many people. Do the best you can. I had a situation where I had to move students from one row to the other because the person in front was too tall. Coaches, center, bookend, or on one side. Top left, football. Coaches are in the center. Well, we've got 6 coaches, so maybe we do put them in the center. Softball, top. We've got the coaches in the center. The managers, top row, right. Bottom row, left. We've tried a different approach. We bookend the coaches. So we've got the coaches on both sides of the top row. Swimming. The two coaches are on one side of the team. There is no right answer. It's whatever you guys feel you want to do. You can put the coaches in the center, coaches on the side, or bookend. Tip, make a template. What is a template? A piece of cardboard with a hole in the same dimensions as the photo on the layout. You hold the template up and look through the hole. That'll tell you approximately how the picture will look. You can use that to adjust the number of people in the row and the number of rows to best fit the picture. Top left, this is a template, just a piece of cardboard with a hole. This is how you use it on the right. As you can see, we have a lot of space on the left. The group here did not have to have so many rows going backwards. We could have put several of the people on the left to make it wider. This is how you also walk around the campus to figure out where you want to take your pictures. You put the template up in front of you and say, will it work? Take the picture. Shoot, stand as far back from the group as you can. The larger the group and the more rows of people, the more important this is. The reason is perspective. The closer you are, the greater the difference in size of the people in the front row versus the rear rows. If you're too close, the people in the rear row will look much smaller than the people in the front. You want to focus on the person or row about a third back from the front. The depth of field is 1/3 in front and 2/3 in back of the focus point. You need enough depth of field to have all the rows in focus. Unfortunately, without a depth of field chart, it's a little hard to do that. Plan to shoot at about f8. That should take care of it. If you don't do that, the only things that may be in focus is the one row that you have focused. Important, have everyone look at you. You don't want to have somebody looking to the side or their eyes closed or looking down. Count before you shoot so that everybody knows when you're ready to shoot. For instance, on 3, 1, 2, 3, click. Bracket the shot. Plus and minus 1, maybe plus and minus 2 stops. Total of 5 shots. -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. Some cameras can be set up to do automatic bracketing for you. This is to handle situations where the meter is fooled by something in the picture. For instance, if you're shooting towards the setting sun, that sun can be messing up your camera's meter. Or if there is something bright in the scene, for instance, the sunlight reflecting off of a really bright stair rail or a car behind the scene, that could mess up the picture. Perspective. So what did I mean by that? This is the picture from the previous screen. Look at the faces in the front row and look at the face of the girl in the back row. Notice how big the person in the front is compared to the person in the back. Or flip it the other way, look how small the face in the back is compared to the face in the front. As you go backwards, the faces get smaller and smaller. This is why you would want to be as far away from them as possible so you minimize that perspective effect. Who? Names. Get the names. Before the group breaks, have the coach, leader, or manager fill in the picture template with the names of everyone. This will make life much easier and faster for the editor. Trying to get names months after the picture was taken requires a lot of work and can take a long time. Finally, take a picture of the completed form so you have a copy in case the original is lost. And this is what we mean. You have the picture, we have a template on the bottom. Names are filled in by the coach or the team manager. So you can look at the picture, you can look at the template, and you know everybody's name. The editor can immediately start filling in the caption. He does not have to wait to try and figure out who's who. Alternative ways to get names. First, have a clipboard for each row. Not just one clipboard for the whole team, a clipboard for each row. Pass the clipboards down the row and have each student write their names. For a large group, this is faster than using just one clipboard for the entire team. Second alternative, use a voice recorder. Walk down each row and have the students tell you their name. Problem, this works only if they speak clearly. If they mumble their name, you won't get their name for your records. Other issues. Dealing with the sun outdoors. As we talked about on the hat and helmet slide, look at this picture. You can see her lower face is in the sun and properly exposed, but her eyes are in the shadow, and it's a pretty deep shadow. So how do you deal with that kind of a situation? Like this. Picture top left. Softball. The sun is coming from your right, their left. So they're not looking into the sun, and the sun is going under the visor. Top right, this is the baseball picture. The sun is coming from their back, so you're not having that split light on their face. Bottom right, different idea. You wait till the sun goes down far enough so you're in shadow. Between the two buildings, there's no sun. It's just a shadow. So you're not dealing with sunlight. And bottom left, avoid the sun altogether. Just do a night shot. So this is at night with a flash on the football field. Next, if you're indoors, what about the color of the light? Have you shot your volleyball or basketball game and you look at the picture and say, hey, the color's wrong. What's going on? In this picture, everything has a slightly yellow cast. But if you want good color, how do you deal with it? Use a flash. The flash will completely overpower the gym lights, so you're not dealing with the funky gym lighting. So how do you use a flash? First thing, do not assume that your flash will work. You know what assume means. Don't make an ass out of you and me. Do a dry run. Test the flash on camera. Determine the proper exposure. Something to remember. Your subject illumination is done by the flash, and that is done by the aperture of your lens. The background is ambient light. The lighting on the background is determined by your shutter speed. Look at that top picture. If you want a lighter background, you use a slower shutter speed. If you want a darker background, you use a faster shutter speed. Up to your camera's flash sync speed. And you have to read the manual to determine what the flash sync speed is for your camera. Please see the flash video for more information. The end. Please like and subscribe.